How to become a better parent now. Positive versus toxic parenting. We need to know the difference. Let's take a look. This is really SLICK, spelled S-L-I-C-K. SLICK will be an acronym to help us remember the points of positive versus toxic parenting. Let's jump in. S in SLICK stands for smile versus frown, which would be the toxic end of things. This is more powerful than you might think. In fact, one of my clients shared with me that she did a 3-day experiment with her children. All she was going to do was smile. Now, this makes kids nervous sometimes because when parents are smiling, kids are thinking. It had an interesting effect. In fact, I had the opportunity to interview or hear from her kids a couple of weeks later, and they're like, something's different about Mom. They weren't even able to really identify what all was different except that she's smiling more. And this had a profound impact on them. Positive parenting is all about smiling versus frowning. Toxic parenting is more about the frown. Let's see what we can find to smile about. It is really SLICK. The L in SLICK stands for low. And I'll explain what I mean. In positive parenting, we come in low and cool. Whereas in toxic parenting, we come in high and hot. Picture for just a minute that you feel the temperature rising. You don't want to come in high and hot where you end up yelling and screaming. That's the toxic parenting. We want the positive parenting where we come in low and cool. So let's use the feelings that you're having. You know when you can tell that there's going to be an eruption? When you feel like yelling, try this. Stoop. Bring your actual height down. Come in low. Are you with me? Especially if you've got small children. Don't come in high and hot over their heads. Get down on the floor, or at least reduce your posture. So I'm talking physically low and cool. Take a few deep breaths. Okay, regather a little bit so that you can be cool when you approach this interaction. L stands for low and cool, as opposed to high and hot. All right, let's continue with our acronym. I, we're spelling SLICK, S-L-I stands for initiate. Initiate and engage. That's the positive parenting approach, as opposed to withdraw and disengage, which is the toxic parenting approach. Look for opportunities to engage in positive ways with your kids. Try to catch them doing good or the things that you've asked them to do. They probably do it more than you notice because we have a natural radar as parents. We are looking for what's wrong or what's not going according to our expectations. You have to go against the flow just a little bit to actually tune your brain in to catch them doing the good things and choose to initiate and engage contact then. This does worlds of good toward helping to reinforce that behavior for your children so that they'll do it again. We can also apply this in our communications. Hey, tell me about... Now, I like starting a conversation that way because you're not asking a closed-ended question. Did you have fun at school? Yeah. No, I don't know. They can answer that very briefly. Instead, hey, tell me about school today. You're trying to open them up more. So that's all about initiate and engage. I promise we're coming right back to the C and the K in our SLICK acronym. While we're doing that, would you just take a moment to click on that subscribe button? Become part of this community of conscious parents and hit the notification bell also so that you'll know when new videos are coming out. Quick recap. S, smile. L, low and cool. I, initiate and engage. Now C, confirm and affirm. Now those two words sound very similar. They kind of mean the same thing anyway. We want to get to yes as opposed to denying and refusing. That's more of the toxic parenting approach. We want to keep it positive. There's so many times when you can substitute yes, when, or yes, if, in place of no. Get to yes. When you think this way, it helps you as a parent, but it also opens up some possibilities for your kids. I remember one time when my son approached me. He was probably 12, 13 years old at the time, as he came up to me and said, "Hey, Dad, what would it take for me to get..." And then he told me what it was that he wanted. Listen to that wording. See, this opens up kids' creativity. Instead of saying no, which they feel to resist, when you say yes if or yes when, it invites them to think. And like my son, who started to think about, okay, what would it take for me to get that? Instead of simply, hey, give me a yes or no, can I have this or not? It's a powerful way to open up their thinking. See, confirm, and affirm. The final letter in SLICK is K, which stands for know, meaning know your job. Have the knowledge of what your job actually is. Positive parenting is understanding that your job is to love them, no matter what, and even if. That's your primary job as a parent. Toxic parenting comes from a standpoint of, my job is to make sure that they, whatever, fill in the blanks, do their homework, do their chores, they're good citizens. We're not very good at that as parents. We can't make sure that they are productive citizens. That's up to them. We're going to do everything that we can to entice that, but our job is to love them no matter what, and even if. K is know your job, and your job is to love them no matter what, and even if. Pretty slick, right? Parenting is, in fact, the most important job in the world. We need to know how to do it. Will you queue up that next video, click on that one to learn the 5 things every new parent needs to know? Let's go there next.